We're in for a super exciting September as Dune Awakening have recently released their roadmap plans for the future. Hello everybody, my name's Cara Vaya and welcome to a video about Dune Awakening. Let's have a look at this roadmap and the future plans, shall we, as they just released a newsletter, so this should be pretty good. They say, hello everybody, it's been a while since we put our last letter and people have been chomping at the bit to hear more about our plans for the future. Absolutely. I've been like, why have they been so quiet? What's going on? A lot of them were actually on vacation for the summer, so that's why it's been so quiet, but they're back now and we're going to get a really cool September update. They apologize for the lack of communication and they say they're going to focus on improving this. They say this week at Gamescom we're going to be talking about the Chapter 2 free update and the Lost Harvest DLC. So we could be actually seeing some of this footage and some of the update via Gamescom videos and whatever they upload to their channel. This is super exciting because it means a sneak peek at what's coming and hopefully we do get some footage there and it is shared to the YouTubes. Anyways, enough yapping, we should look at the roadmap. So here we go, we have plans from September 2025 all the way to June 2026. So the first one being most exciting, they say Chapter 2 for September 2025. We're not given a specific date yet. At the top is free updates, at the bottom is DLCs. Season Pass is included in the bottom from what I remember reading, and it does have the stuff in there they mentioned. So for Chapter 2, what they say that's going to be in it is the main story continues, which is super awesome. I really do want some more story. They also have character recustomization, so if you don't like the look of your character, you'll be able to change that. Dynamic encounters, so things you're going to experience out in the world that is going to be brand new. Social hub contracts, so you're going to have more things to do, more missions to complete. Maybe you'll get to see some cutscenes and stories. New deep desert layouts. Ooh, I wonder what that could be about. They have new archetype armors. I'm not sure what this could be about. It sounds exciting though. I'd like some new armor. That would be nice. You know what I really want though? Some new capes. I love the capes in Doom. They also have some new hairstyles and tattoos, which I assume will come with your character recustomization. So if you want to change it to something or tattoo something on your arms, you will now be able to do this. Now coming in the Season Pass DLC section, so this is what you paid for, there is a new vehicle. I wonder what that could be. My bet's on the tank that they used to have in those very old trailers, but it could be something different. Let me know in the comments down below what you think it is or what new vehicles you'd like to see in Dune Awakening. Then they say they have a new contract chain with unique locations, so more missions and fun stuff for us to do. Then they say they have new building pieces and decorations, so ooh, I'm excited. I wonder what those will look like. New armor and weapon skins, new swatches and emotes, and more. I am really hoping there's going to be vehicle swatches because I feel like that's something we really missed out on. We saw like different color vehicles in the trailer, but we never got them. Unless somebody knows something I don't, but I only have very limited vehicle swatches. I definitely want more. Next up, estimated between January and March of 2026, they have another update coming out called Chapter 3. We don't get too much information on this one, but so far they say revamped Endgame and more. And for the DLC section, they say cosmetics. The Broken Lands are shattered plains of broken rock known for their fearsome raiders. No idea what that means, especially as a cosmetic. That's very peculiar. Unless they're just going to give us like a bunch of broken rocks. Or like maybe just like a raider set or something, I don't know. They will keep it pretty vague. They do tend to do that until they know exactly what they can release in that time frame and what's ready by then. And for Chapter 4, between April and June of 2026, they say to be revealed for the free content. But for the DLC, they say water is life. The water shipper families are at war, fighting for control of the polar caps of Arrakis. Now, the polar caps are very, very valuable. It's where you get a lot of water, so they are quite important on this harsh desert planet. I imagine they can make some really cool DLC and story about this, so I'm pretty excited to see what they have like in store for us. It should be pretty cool. And then after that, and they say this is in 2026, there's going to be an expansion. I wonder what that's going to be about. I'm guessing some kind of map expansion or something we can get through using the overland map or flying somewhere new. That should be exciting. They say consoles, so console release and all that good stuff, and they say more free updates and more DLCs. They also have this thing up the top that they say is going to be a monthly thing that they update all the time, so this is every single month we're going to get it. Monitoring player feedback, bugs and cheats, reproducing internally, implementing fixes and improvements, patching to test live, tweaks as needed, and patching to live. So they're going to be working on bugs every month and trying to fix it that way. So that's super good. We like some bug fixing, smashing those bugs and getting it all like ship shape and good to play. Dune unfortunately did get hit by a wave of like exploiters and cheaters through its launch period and even still now today. So hopefully they can knuckle down on that and get that under wraps, because it's really important for the deep desert and all the activity there. I've heard all sorts of horror stories like Thopters coming at you and shooting like barrages of never-ending missiles and all sorts of crazy things, like people taking ownership of other people's stuff. So I hope they can get that under wraps, because that's pretty important. Anyways, continuing down this list, they say we will share more about the major content and features coming in Chapter 2 and DLC soon. But in terms of quality life improvements, we are adding the ability to rename vehicles, storage containers and other placeables, more reliable ornithopter rockets for combat enthusiasts, and highly requested option to swap seats in a vehicle with a hotkey. All of these features will be available for testing on the public test client soon. They also have some news about Endgame, so let's read about this. They say, during summer we made changes and tweaks to the formula of the deep desert with varying degrees of success. We attracted very different demographics to the game. They were asking for very different things. We've identified several core issues: loss of items and vehicles, players feeling like they're forced into PvP, exploits and cheats, and lack of endgame content and grind. Which is very true. I have gotten to a point myself, and I will fully admit it and be fine with that at the moment all I'm doing is playing Farming Simulator or grinding materials, so it has become a little bit boring. And that's fine, that's natural with a game, like that's totally okay, and like when we're ready to get into more stuff, we come back, hit the new content and have fun, right? It's good and healthy to take breaks from different games, trust me. So let's have a look what they have planned in the short term for meeting requests, like heavily requested things. They say they're going to have improved player logging. One of the key frustrations we see is a lack of information and clarity around why certain items, objects and vehicles are gone. We will increase the information in your logs so you have a better idea of what's going on. So basically like your logs that tell you everything, like if a sandstorm broke down something or what, will tell you more details about what actually happened to it instead of just being like, oh, your vehicle has died. They have the vehicle salvaging system. We are working on a vehicle salvaging system that will allow you to recover lost vehicles. Hey, this is super exciting. If your ornithopter gets taken down, maybe you can revive it, or like if it gets burnt by a sandstorm and blows up, or maybe if you're like me and do something silly like driving into a spice blow or too near to one and your entire buggy blows up. Yeah, that happened. You'll be able to recover it. Maybe, hopefully, that'd be cool. They say cobalt paste and vehicle inventory. We are adjusting the volume of the infamous cobalt paste and adding more slots to the assault ornithopter vehicle inventory. Oh my gosh, they say we will be adding a cargo container that can be carried by the carrier ornithopter. Yes! Oh my gosh, why was this not a thing? Honestly, it is such a pain having to ship things back and forth between Hagar Basin and the deep desert every single week, so this is so cool to hear. I know it's been a massive pain point for me and my clan, just having to keep going back and forth. It's like, oh, I don't have time for this, man. Another feature they stated in here is instant deep desert loot. So the constant camping and queuing of the deep desert testing stations leads to a frustrating experience where people arrive to empty testing stations. We are going to change these to be more in line with the rest of the game. So cool, there's going to be different places to get loot, like in instances and cool things like that. Then they have offline notifications about important events. We understand that not everybody can and wants to log in to check their power and taxes constantly in the game. We would like to create a notification service that sends you the status of your base via email. What? And the one is squarely aimed at you, Ben. Oh no, Ben's getting called out again. To add on more, they say these are in addition to the current slate of UI and UX improvements, continue crackdown on exploiter and cheaters, and stability improvements. Now we go into longer term planning and what they have in store for the end game. As we've mentioned previously, the Landsrad is supposed to be the endgame activity driver. Currently, it does not have the breadth or depth of content or progression to serve that function. As we work towards Chapter 3, we will begin to tie the faction progression of the game to the Landsrad, whilst also systematically building out the Landsrad with a greater variety of activities across the world. As a player, this means you can increase your faction rank by completing Landsrad tasks, checking in with your Duke or Baron occasionally to perform special missions, and visit faction vendors. Landsrad activities will become contract-based rather than delivery-based, which will allow us to effectively remove the issue of stockpiling that is the current epidemic of the game. This ensures that people are rewarded for solo play, as well as making contributions easier for them to track, and it will give you many choices in how to progress over time. As for planned activities, we have plenty in mind in addition to the current testing stations and shipwrecks. The following list contains examples and not promises, as these will take work and time to deliver, but currently we are thinking of things like assassinations, treasure maps, races, construction challenges, duels, faction vs faction maps, improved control points, scavenger hunts, temporary crafting challenges, etc. That sounds super. I like the sound of that. And they say we have always wanted to flesh out the overland map over time, and this will boost that along. They say they're open to suggestions, so if you have any, pop them in the comments down below or put them on their social media or forums. As the Landsrad activities become more fleshed out, we will transition the deep desert back towards the original intention, a sandbox area where players can compete for control of spice. We will continue to iterate on the deep desert, adding no-fly zones to enforce ground combat, adding more layouts with more variety and challenge, and ensuring there's some clear progression. And in addition, we are experimenting with the tech behind the deep desert, and if all things go well, you experience the deep desert in much more of a stable environment. They say a lot of this will become our focus for the latter half of 2025. We hope to make significant changes that will satisfy and thrill you. This sounds super exciting. I'm hoping the Landsrad is going to become more of like something exciting to do rather than like a grinding and farming fest. I really can't face those kill challenges or anything like that where you have to kill like 500 Kirab just to like achieve what you need. It is very, very tedious, and like it's the same when you have to like craft a bunch of like Regis stuff. I'm just like, no, I don't want to. Some of the rewards have not been worth it. Some of them are really nice, but you know, hopefully they give it a spin up. I'm hoping it's the same with the deep desert loot table, because getting the same items here and there can be a bit like, oh. They have this whole instant system, so I feel like they could do a lot with this system, and they could really like build off of it and make it something really cool and exciting to do. I think like instances and like activities with instances are the way to go, especially if you can get like other people involved. I don't know how this is going to work with a multiplayer system, especially with private servers. But yeah, I hope it goes well for them. I really enjoyed Dune Awakening at launch, and I hope this like update coming in September is super exciting and fun to play with. I've really been wanting more story to play through, so super excited about that. And that's probably it for today. If you enjoyed today's video, smash a like on it and subscribe for some more Dune Awakening content so you get notified when the September update is coming soon. Either way, thank you for watching, I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!